consent. Course proposals, sports medicine.
Sure, John. Okay, so. Okay, thank you. So yes, Sarah Brewer from the high school brought forward to school improvement a couple weeks ago a course proposal, sports medicine 2. I believe most of the people here were actually at school improvement and heard the presentation that Mrs. Lippers just gave. Aligns nicely with our pathways. It's just an opportunity for students to have another elective that gives them an opportunity to kind of dive a little bit deeper into this field.
Questions? Great opportunity for our kids.
Yes.
Thank you for everybody who put that together. District medical advisor bid.
I brought the district medical advisor bid to you for your approval to put it out to bid. It's a contract that goes for 2 years and then has an option for 3 years after that. So our current contract has gone the full 5, and we now have to put it back out to bid.
It makes sense to bring the bids back to budget when they come in.
Absolutely.
Questions? Thank you, Lynn. Financials.
We're currently still keeping a very close tab on the purchase property services. We just had a few more students, special needs students come in that we've had some additional expenses in the purchase services line. So while it is higher currently, I think when you see the April report, it will not be as high as a total estimated budget balance going forward. We are still anticipating that the salaries are trending under budget, and the benefits are a little under budget. And we'll bring forward adjustments in the future. It's just right now the positions are volatile. There's a lot of volatility going on with some of the expenditure lines. We've had to increase the bus for some expulsions and a few other things. So I was not comfortable bringing you transfers at this moment. So we'll go forward with that.
Food service RFP.
Do you want to hear anything about the food service performance?
Yeah.
The food service is currently trending very well this year. There is still a very large surplus, which we are beginning to spend on much needed things in the program. We have some new cutlery, some new carts so that they can get food where it needs to be in a faster way. And we have looked into getting some quotes to replace, to create the freezer space over at Global Wetmore so that we'll be able to have the larger.
The buy ahead.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And the commodities. So that will make it a very centralized place for everything. And our wonderful maintenance department will help with all of that.
Load up the truck, John.
The
Meals on
program is-
wheels.
Yeah.
It's, the participation rates have maintained or gone up in lunch. Breakfast is still a little behind, but a few of the schools like Forbes and Torrington, the middle school have almost 50% participation rate for breakfast, which is amazing. So the kids are getting good meals, good food, and they're able to learn more.
Questions on that?
For the food service.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a wiggle. We're not ready for it yet. It's voluminous. There's 4 companies that submitted bids, and we're still working on trying to get everything in all our ducks in a row so that we can give you a report on it. So I would like to ask if possible that we could bring it to you at a special meeting possibly.
When does it have to go?
Or we could just bring it to budget. We'll bring it to the next
Is
budget.
budget okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
That'll be fine.
okay.
Have we historically gotten that many bids?
No.
That's quite a bit.
There were 6 companies, 2 recused themselves of the bid, said that they were not able to do a quality bid at this time, asked that we consider them in the future, and we had 4 companies. We had Ed Advance, we had Sodexo, we had Whitson's, and we had Fresh Picks. All with massive binders.
Wow.
We have to go through every
I've
single.
only heard of this stuff, so.
They were very, very competitive bids,
Yeah.
but we still have to get.
So could those be made available if anyone wants to look at them before? So that we don't
Absolutely.
have to go through all of those pages of budget?
Yeah, if we could get that before budget, that would be
Absolutely.
great.
I have 4 copies of each one in my office. And if you would like to see them, I can leave them
Yeah.
on my table.
Yeah, or I don't know if they can win the conference
You
room. and
can't
then
take them from the building.
No, then Lisa could just put people in the conference
just leave
room
them,
if they
yeah.
wanted to look at them.
Maybe before the budget meeting even, I don't know, I prefer maybe coming in an hour early before whatever, I don't know what everybody else wants to do, but maybe I'll come in an hour before.
So if anyone wants to see the binders, let me know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coordinate.
so we don't have to spend the whole meeting.
Looking good.
They're just, they're this thick.
That's
I
crazy.
don't know how to explain it. So they're that thick and they're comprehensive.
Food service, RFP. Food certification.
So as requested, I found out the information regarding the classroom parties.
Yeah.
So that the children are able to have them. I included the actual document from the state. And I would like you to consider healthy food certification for the next fiscal year. The kids could have parties now. That's the other answer to the question that you asked. It doesn't have to wait for next year. As long as there's no one being charged for these cupcakes
For
or
whatever's
cakes.
brought in.
Exactly.
Is there an action item on that, Fiona?
Yeah.
Not an action item.
There is. The one with all the wording. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. That's the one.
My natural inclination.
Yeah, somebody has to read it.
So if I'm reading this correctly, so they can have a party and serve food
can't
after
have
9,
Oh,
but
so-
before 11.
Oh, she
and
wasn't
after
here, you
1:30.
weren't here for the meeting, we went through all this craziness. Yeah. It is very specific.
No candy, no coffee, no tea, and no soft drinks. Not that you would give a child coffee or tea.
So that you're not competing with the food service. That's why they're designated those times. So it's not competing with breakfast and it's not competing with lunch.
Or you can give them candy, coffee, tea, and soft drinks, just only between 9 AM and 11.
That's during a
Right?
certain time period.
Isn't that what
Yeah.
that says?
No, you cannot
No.
give candy, coffee, tea, and soft drinks to students anywhere on school premises.
30 minutes before.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 minutes
There's a
before.
time constraint, which makes me think you can give it to them.
Right.
At certain times.
Cafeteria.
You know, this isn't something that I or anyone else is gonna look at too closely in the building. as to whether little kids are eating little baby-sized Snickers, so I feel like it's fine. That's
We just
my
wanna
take
make
on
sure
it.
that it's clear to staff. Because whether you're
Not
reading
to
it
serve
as they
coffee.
can't have candy, or they can have candy at certain
Happy
times,
hours.
there's a difference, right? So we wanna
Right.
make sure that we're,
Yeah.
we're understanding it
Oh,
properly.
we could just
It
say, let's have,
specifically
just
says
have your
classroom
parties.
parties cannot give candy, coffee, tea, and soft drinks to students anywhere on school premises.
But only from 7 to
before.
9 or
No,
11
that's
to
an
1:30.
No, that's an example.
No, it says classroom parties cannot give candy, coffees, tea, whatever, to students from 30 minutes before up through 30 minutes after the operation of any CNPs. So it sounds like you can give it, you just have to give it,
Cafeteria nutrition program.
at certain times,
I don't,
When we update our wellness
Right.
policy too, though, we can decide, right, within these parameters, if we don't want candy, caffeine.
Right.
We can say that.
Yeah, and set those limits.
this is 30 minutes before
Yeah, that's,
through 30 minutes after, so
Right,
it's
so
not during the
basically
school day.
for the day.
Basically, you can't have any of that during the
I
day.
think it's just during breakfast and lunch. 30
Yeah.
minutes
No, it's
before
30
30 minutes
minutes
before breakfast, 30 minutes after breakfast, 30 minutes before lunch, 30 minutes after lunch.
just is.
Right.
So you have like a 1-hour window.
Yeah, basically, okay,
You-
candy
yeah.
time, guys.
If it's not anywhere near
Just no
cafeteria
coffee.
time, you can
Yeah.
hand out as much candy as you want.
I mean, I think the big thing was people felt the loss of the celebratory things for the birthdays for
Right.
younger kids that we sucked up on out of school, I think was the exact word. Either, but so I don't think it's really candy. I think it's more just being allowed to have some.
Have some
form
kind of a celebration, yeah.
Right, so cupcakes are allowed, as long
Sure.
as you're not selling them to children,
Right.
and it's a birthday party.
Everybody bringing a dollar tomorrow.
So I
Right.
think if we can have a wellness policy, probably, just to make sure that we're in alignment in our policies.
So it's up to us to enforce this anyway, right? I mean, the ATF doesn't go all way on, right?
That's what I was
That there was
saying. It's a little
coffee
more
served
roundabout.
with cupcakes.
No, we don't have cupcake treats or.
I think it's just important for everyone to know what it is and have it consistently applied among the schools so that you don't have one person using one another. It gets a little bit too confusing.
Right, just keep it very base, very simple. Right.
All right, so we'll talk further about it in our wellness policy, but does anyone have any specific on the healthy food certification? Distinguished alumnus, Mr. Kisco first.
So Assistant Superintendent Ferguson did all the work of contacting the people and putting the documents together and making it all ready for us. So I think I would ask her if she would take the
Have the
privilege of
honors.
making the announcement.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kisco. It is my honor and privilege to announce that the School Improvement Committee did select for this year's recipient, Dr. James Perlato. I had the lovely, pleasant experience of having a nice chat with Dr. Perlato. What a nice guy. He is a 1974 Torrington High School graduate. He was the class salutatorian. He attended Yale University, Boston University School of Medicine, University of Minnesota School of Medicine. He is now dividing his time between Guilford, Connecticut and Florida. He's partially retired. He was absolutely blown away by this honor, so humbled and so lovely. We talked for, I listened, he talked for quite a while, telling me about his, experience growing up in Torrington and his real fondness for the community. He still has family here and many friends here. He returns to the area on a regular basis. I think you're living in his brother's house.
He bought his brother's
right?
house in November, which is
Yes.
a beautiful home, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just so much, and I have to tell you, this was in the paperwork that was submitted, but he shared with me that he got started in, became interested. He was a first generation college student. And he loves that. And he was very happy to tell me the story about when he was growing up. One of his first jobs was working at Charlotte Hungerford in the maintenance department as a custodian. And he said that he cleaned the operating rooms and the bathrooms and the offices. And he said to this day, he considered that to be one of the most important jobs he ever had in his life. And that it taught him so much about work ethic and about how to treat people.
Is he looking for a job?
Yeah, he said,
John
I
needs some
always
extra
emphasize the importance of valuing and respecting all work and of thanking those whose work supports all of us and lifts us all up. He is so thrilled to be coming to the ceremony on June 2nd. Can't wait to see everyone and to deliver a message to the Torrington High School students. Just a lovely, lovely man. Yeah,
That's awesome.
great choice.
Good pick, everybody. I think we were all in agreement on that pretty much. Right now?
It's never easy because
No,
so
it's
many
not.
well-qualified people are nominated. But Dr. Pilata was an easy
Stood out.
choice when everything was considered after all the discussion was done. Was the choice.
Yeah. It was hard this year. There were a lot of good candidates.
Any other questions?
Committee report, budget committee, we covered everything that happened in the budget. Facility and technology, so I was not at that. On the committee.
John?
Oh, yeah.
I was
Because
there.
it's always, I mean, I was there, but it's your show. So
Exactly.
nobody could tell us better than you.
Well, there was a question we asked about Ally, technology, right?
Oh, I did participate in that
You weren't
meeting.
there,
I
but
wasn't there.
you weren't there, but
That
you
was-
You gave us some
provided an answer.
information, you gave us a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
I gave you a cheat sheet
Yes.
about, we did some networking upgrades over spring break. Quite a few actually. We're now able to drill down into categories and we can, you did such a wonderful job explaining about the whole blocking factor.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't know.
so yes, our new firewall will block any attempt, but then a lot of kids found ways to encrypt their traffic. And then, well, now we're going to decrypt their traffic and make sure that it isn't any other backdoor, it's Snapchat and all these kind of things.
So you're catching it
I'm
coming
catching it
in.
going in and coming.
Right, so
Going out,
not
coming in.
necessarily, if they find another avenue,
We're still gonna,
you're gonna catch it coming in, yeah.
so actually.
Which is so exciting. Do you have it? Do you have
I'm
it?
gonna show you something.
I don't need to
See.
veer us off in another direction, but this is really good stuff.
Pull up the real-time event log of what's happening throughout the day.
While you're doing that, Ally, can I ask a question about our internet capacity, I guess?
Uh-huh.
We've heard a lot of feedback. And I've read a lot, really, I should say, about the fact that our computers aren't keeping up with the internet in the speed time, the delay, bringing back things, and because there's so much traffic. Is that something that was improved upon last week?
Yes.
It was.
So, I'll give an example. I guess the question is, have you heard concerns about our capacity? Because it shouldn't be.
That's where I'm looking for clarification. And I think a lot of it goes back to the phones where, a lot of what I've been reading in editorial letters, newspapers, everywhere, the news, that, we need phones in the building because they can't access the internet with their computers because it's too slow.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Our internet
I know the
connection is approximately 100 times faster than any average connection at home.
Okay.
Given that at any point in time during the day, we have over 3,000 users. The network does hold up. I don't see any slowness at all.
Okay.
What they are able to get with their phones or categories, for example, that are blocked in the building. So if you hear of any speed concerns, please bring them to my attention.
Yeah.
We'll look into that.
Yeah.
You certainly if you have a Chromebook is not going to perform at the same speed as any other device. But we kind of look at fair access to everybody. So everybody has plenty of wireless speed. So that shouldn't be an issue. But going back to what I was trying to demonstrate, look at this, what I'm highlighting over here. I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger.
Oh, look at that.
So that's a Snapchat URL. It's a web address. If you're just trying to block Snapchat.com, we would never come up with this kind of stuff.
Right, if you,
So
yeah,
we're looking at it, and another thing that I've recently discovered is you might look to yourself, interesting, why are we blocking things in iCloud? Which is an Apple service. And then it dawned on me, every new phone has built-in proxy, which means they're able to anonymize traffic
That's
and
what they were
all the
talking
stuff
about.
on the phone, and they do it for, so that Facebook, for example, can't track it blocks that as well. So any kind of way to get around it, it'll find it.
it found it in that,
It found it, since when.
before you did, which is impressive.
Exactly.
You find
Just
everything.
looking at it. So it's interesting. So I can look at these are real-time logs of what's being blocked, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, those aren't like somebody typing in snapchat.com. That's somebody trying to go around it?
That's probably just all the traffic at the app itself will try to send.
Okay.
But you see Snapchat. It's all.
Oh.
It's pretty amazing. And then another thing that was upgraded. Our internet provider is the state. It's the Connecticut Education Network, and they have a switch, a network switch here in the building, which gives us our internet access. When I first came on board in 2019, we had one single piece of copper connecting that box to our internal electronics. During COVID, during our shutdown, we took that one piece of copper and made it 4 individual copper strands. So we would get a theoretical 4 gigabits of bandwidth, but it would never really hit 4 gigs because just the way the math works in combining this. So now we actually have a new switch that gives us one single piece of fiber going into our network at 10 gigs.
Wow. So there should really be no issues with speed
No. We're still subscribing to 4, but we can burst up to 10.
if we need to. Okay. And you haven't reached even near that capacity.
Show you.
Okay.
Tell you
Sorry.
today. Yeah. It's interesting. So all the things all the fun things I watched during the day. Look at the last 12 hours. Today, I'll show you what that looks like. So today we have hit about 1.25 gigs per second, right here.
And you have the capacity to go to 4 and 10 if you want.
We'll never hit 10. That will happen for a while, but we're building everything at a minimum of 10 to the internet at this point. And our internal network is built at 40.
40?
40 gigs per second. The buildings are connected to each other at 20. The closets in our buildings are connected at 40.
Are you tracking it by building?
I can.
I would just be curious as to how much our speed on our Chromebooks at the middle school will increase once we have 1,000 less devices.
Well,
Just saying.
the speed won't,
That's a good question.
there won't be an increase of speed because they're unable to hit the maximum amount of speed. We're not maxing out our link. So or are you meaning the usage will go up if they're starting to use the Chromebooks more? Or it will go down?
Or no, I thought too, to what you're saying, Fiona, that maybe without
Cell
1,000.
coverage at the middle school is not great on any carrier. The top floor, maybe. So most kids at the middle school with their phones, they're running on our Wi-Fi in first place. So our usage at the middle school is gonna go down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when they stop all connecting to our Wi-Fi, I can't
Right.
imagine that doesn't help our Wi-Fi situation.
There shouldn't be a Wi-Fi situation. That's, I guess my question is, it shouldn't make any impact.
Why? Because of the capacity we have? Okay.
With the upgrade or?
No, even before that.
Before that?
We should not be able to max out any Wi-Fi access point in the district. Not a single device should be capable of doing that.
Of accessing our Wi-Fi, you said?
There should be no device or groups of devices that should be able to slow down this network.
Oh, to slow down, okay, I'm sorry.
So even, having that less at the middle school, there shouldn't be any difference whatsoever. If there is any type of slowness, then I'd like to give that advantage. We'll take a look and see why that may be, but it shouldn't be.
Question.
Thank you.
School improvement met at Southwest School, and heard reports from Dr. Buchanan and Mr. Klein about their schools, the programs going on there. Things are going quite well. Very impressive reports, generated some discussion and some questions afterwards. And we are next week at the middle school, and we will hear a report from the middle school. And we will also have exciting data to be shared at the next meeting by the special ed department.
Oh,
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. I hope everyone will be
Yes.
there.
Policy.
We were all into Yana. Cut that all straightened out. I'm excited to be back on track from where we were, but we do have wellness and information policies to look at in meeting on Wednesday.
Those meetings will be
Wednesday Will be
switched.
switched. We're gonna switch on 6 and 7.
Where are we meeting at the middle school?
Middle school.
Library.
At the library.
Yes, that's good.
Building committee.
Yeah, we talked about the enabling phase. We had the building committee passed and approved the enabling phase. It was also approved by Park and Rec. It's going to planning and zoning next week. It was approved by the board, and now we just move forward. It's basically just the parking lot, the athletic fields, where the building actually is seated or situated on the property. So now we're just in the basics.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to that next phase.
Yeah.
So that's the exciting,
Building
at least for me.
Building committee meets tomorrow at 5 at Torrington. It's interesting.
Skate park is moving across the street, in case anybody didn't see that in the paper. That's not. Crickets.
You don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Right.
That's right. I've heard there's still maybe some life in that.
Oh, God.
Well, that was an interesting discussion at Park and Rec, because they modified the motion to give the Park and Rec chair, not the chair, the supervisor, the superintendent, the authority to, if he could find some other place to move it there.
Right.
Interesting discussion.
Jury's still out there.
Really? I thought once it hit the paper, it was official.
Yeah. Liaison reports. Does anyone have liaison reports?
Torrington School. They had a wonderful event last month called Tiger Pride Night. Unveiled our Tori the Tiger mascot and had some fun events at Torrington for the families. musical chairs, stuff a tiger similar to Build-A-Bear, directed drawing, photo booth, and read alouds. Torrington High School woodworking class and their teacher, Mr. Sheik, built our Gaga pit over April break. 2 student volunteers who built the pit on site are former Torrington kids, Ethan Stater and Chris Stevens. Torring Ford Tigers raised money for St. Jude's through a kindness campaign. Students had sponsored for acts of kindness. The Principal Advisory Council, made up of 3rd grade leaders, created a wall of every student and staff member's names and special announcements to provoke kindness. Their dance team, coached by Erica McMurdy, the PE teacher, will be performing at the St. Jude's Telethon on this Sunday at 10:45 a.m. And they put together several raffle baskets for the telethon as well. 3rd graders took the COGAT assessment last month to assist with determining eligibility for talented and gifted. We had 94% of the families participate in the parent conferences last month. Some chose in-person while others preferred virtual. 3rd grader Maya Gamari developed a plan to have calm corner boxes created for several areas in the building to support students with strategies to self-regulate. 2nd and 3rd grade students at Torrington are getting ready for the Kids Marathon on June 5th at the high school. Kids are racking up miles and will complete the final mile at the event in June. Torrington is excited about the foundation's Just Right groupings. They have collected new data to regroup students while accelerating and compress the curriculum where appropriate. Students are making phenomenal progress.
Southwest School, this is a short one. Kind of dropped the ball this month, and I apologize, Dr. Reed. Their student council is organized and is running an assembly next week to kick off putting forth best efforts in testing and academics for the remainder of the year. Try to get everybody up and excited about that. Band students are excited and preparing for Bandapalooza concert tomorrow night. This is their first ever public performance. Will that be virtual
The Bandapalooza, that's live here
Yeah.
tomorrow night.
at the high school here?
Yes.
Oh.
district-wide.
Never been to Bandapalooza.
No.
Oh, my
It's awesome.
Did we do that at East School?
Bandapalooza is always here, and
It's
it's
here.
always a district-wide, the bands come
Okay.
from all the schools.
My kids were never in band. That's
there you
why. Right.
But it's still worth coming.
Of course, it sounds it.
We're moving
Excellent.
hundreds of music stands here for tomorrow.
That's your, on your list of things to do tomorrow.
So what time?
7. I believe
Seven?
it's at 7, right?
Yeah. Right, Robin?
7 o'clock for
6:30, the kids
Bandapalooza.
Bandapalooza's at 7, right?
Bandapalooza, 7 o'clock.
Tomorrow night, I believe, so I can double check on my phone.
Yeah, if you can,
7
that'd be
o'clock.
great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have a written report for the high school this month, so I apologize for that, but I do know that there's prom coming up on May 20th, and a lot of our seniors are really excited about that. I do want to mention that there's a car wash to benefit project graduation on Saturday from 10 to 2 at the Lowe's parking lot by the Garden Center. And Low and Slow Barbecue will also be on site and will be donating a portion of their proceeds back to THS Project Graduation. So Project Graduation is great. It's a safe night out for the kids after graduation, and they do a lot of fundraising so that it doesn't cost the kids money to go. So we can support that. That's great.
7 o'clock.
Thank you very much.
Saturday, what time?
Saturday from 10 to 2.
I'll get my car washed.
Am I right?
Just really quickly, because I know it's come up, I am paying attention to what's going on with this air quality legislation in Hartford. It is on the Senate calendar, which means it passed the committee, but the Senate, at least in the Connecticut General Assembly, the Senate is where legislation goes to die. Seriously, if you ever wanted to look it up, they pass about 20% of the bills that their House counterparts pass. The Senate passes very little legislation year over year. I'm not particularly keen on this bill's prospect of passing, if I had to guess based on my conversations with legislators and the people who are really driving it home. but you never know until 11:59 at the close of the session. So I was trying, if anyone's wondering, I was trying to get an up-to-the-minute update, which is what I was looking for, but the Connecticut General Assembly's website is terrible, so unfortunately, no up-to-the-minute update. The last that I knew, it was still sending me out there.
That will be an interesting one to watch.
Yeah.
Because the criteria in the bill has a substantial financial impact on districts.
Right, the committee passed a substitute bill. I have to dig into what they actually changed, but regardless, I think we're all on the same page that we don't care what they changed. Pass.
Unfunded mandate.
Yeah.
Something new.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that before. Thank you, Ed, for picking up on all that, John.
And advanced board of directors did not need to meet last month, therefore will meet this month. First Thursday, 5 o'clock in person, just in case anyone was tracking those things for the first time in a couple of years, we will be in person.
I have Vogel.
Perfect. Go ahead. You're on deck.
Principal Michael, would you like to regurgitate your bullet points or no? All right. Their halls have been decorated with amazing spring decorations. Each classroom and others have decorated a window in the hall. There are flowers, berries, and birds aplenty. Our fourth floor now has a bunch of fantastic multi-sensory decals on the floor that gives students a new way to get out a little energy in the hall. They also look beautiful. The highlight is a full-size canoe. At our staff meeting last month, we shared some new ways that teachers can share high leverage vocabulary with students. That aligned nicely with this week's announcement challenge. We challenged all our students to come up with a new word to use, define it, use it in a sentence, and of course, illustrate it. Second graders are hard at work writing their own informational texts. They're learning how to, they're not using their cell phones, I hope. They're learning how to research, take notes, and organize their information into categories. They are learning about text features like diagrams, headings, vocabulary, and glossaries. Our inaugural Earth Day neighborhood cleanup celebration is coming up Saturday, April 30th from 10 to 1. We have received donations from several area businesses to support this work. We are sharing read aloud, playing music, kid-friendly exercises. There will also be a food truck and an ice cream truck for volunteers to purchase treats. Thank you.
Entertain a motion to approve the monthly financial.
Second.
All those in favor?
And Sue?
Entertain a motion to approve the sports medicine 2 course proposal.
Second.
Favor?
John and Sue?
Entertain a motion to approve. I'm sorry. No, well, they're gonna bring the bids, but you still need to approve the R.
Yeah.
For the medical advisor.
Oh, the medicine, yeah.
You need
That's,
to approve the
that's
RFP, yeah.
what you want, right?
Entertain a motion to approve the district medical advisor bid.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Sue and Ed?
We're removing the food service RFP because that's gonna go to budget to review all the bids. Take a deep breath. Entertain a motion to approve the healthy food certification pursuant to CGS section 10-215F. The Board of Education or governing authority certifies that all food items offered for sale to students in the schools under its jurisdiction and not exempted from the Connecticut nutrition standards published by the Connecticut State Department of Education will comply with the Connecticut nutrition standards during the period of July 1, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. This certification shall include all food offered for sale to students separately from reimbursable meals at all times and from all sources, including but not limited to school stores, vending machines, school cafeterias, culinary programs, and any fundraising activities on school premises sponsored by the school or non-school organizations and groups. Hold on, I have more. The Board of Education or governing authority will allow the sale to students of food items that do not meet the Connecticut nutrition standards and beverages not listed in section 10-221Q of the Connecticut General Statutes, provided that the following conditions are met. The sale is in connection with an event occurring after the end of the regular school day or on the weekend. The sale is at the location of the event. And the food and beverage items are not sold from a vending machine or school store. An event is an occurrence that involves more than just a regular scheduled practice, meeting, or extracurricular activity. For example, soccer games, school plays, interscholastic debates, or events with soccer practices, play rehearsals, and debate team meetings are not. The regular school day is the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day. Location means where the event is being held and must be the same place as the food and beverage sale. Second, and then we'll put it for discussion.
Second.
Okay. So this is confusing to me because this is different than what we just talked about, right? Because this looks like it can only be done outside the school day. or
It's a
something.
Is
cell.
that because of sales?
It's about
Right,
sale.
yeah, perfect. Okay,
Yeah, which we do before.
perfect. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah,
The
so do they
midnight
sell this
through-
stuff at football games and other events at the school?
They can
Is
do it
the-
after school hours, just not during school hours.
So 30 minutes after.
So, and it does cover soccer games, but, or not soccer game, yeah, it says, for example, events, where does it start? An event is an occurrence that involves more than just a regularly scheduled practice, meeting, or extracurricular activity, for example, soccer games, school plays, and interscholastic debates are events, but the practices and the rehearsals are not.
Right.
So a softball game, yes, right? The
But
football
not
games,
Basketball, football, they have the most concessions.
they can sell
At the games.
at the games only, not practices, and it has to be 30 minutes after school. And it can't be midnight until after school, which is crazy that they would put that in
This
there.
is Friday night.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So it's Ed and Sue.
All those in favor, you can just raise your hand again. So are you in favor?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, okay, everybody, unanimous. Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the Board of Ed regular meeting minutes of March 23rd, 2022.
So,
Second.
All those in favor?
John and Sue.
Entertain a motion to approve the Board of Ed special meeting minutes in a bundle.
so
Second.
All those in favor?
John and Ed.
Entertain a motion to receive the committee meeting minutes. All those in favor? Aye. Entertain a motion to receive the consent agenda. Second. All those in favor?
You pick, Ellen.
Okay.
Aye.
John and
I
Sue.
abstain from that one.
Oh, it's not on there? Yeah. Next upcoming agenda, we have monthly financial. We're gonna have 2022, 2023 budget. Anything else?
Is this item on the agenda?
Yes.
So I have something. This document was brought to my attention. It's called the Healthy and Balanced Living Curriculum Framework for Health Education and Physical Education from the Connecticut State Department of Education, 2021. And I had a chance to look through it, and there are some things in this curriculum framework, especially in their area of sexual health, that I think are not age appropriate and would probably be rather controversial. And so I wanted to know if we are utilizing this curriculum framework. That was my first question. And secondary to that, whether we are or aren't, I think it would be a good idea for the board to undergo a review of the health and sex ed curriculum that's being used district-wide, including instructional materials. Just this has been a really hot topic that a lot of people are raising, and I think it could be a concern in our community. So I'm not sure where that would fit.
So the Office of Teaching and Learning is looking into that. So
Okay.
we'll get an update. I will forward it to them. They
Yeah.
were starting
It's
to do
actually
the
a time,
deep
yeah, it's a timely question, Jess, because as you know, we started a curriculum development process in all core content areas. And health education was a little late getting into the game. So we really just started working on that in the fall. So yeah, we are pulling all the materials together. I don't know where you want to talk about that in school improvement or, you know.
Other items for upcoming agenda, I think we're gonna be probably pretty busy with the budget items. Keep our number back. Comments for the good of the order. Start with John this time.
I'm good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
No, thanks.
Yes.
I wanted to thank Laura and her team for the cups again. Thank you very much. I don't know, I guess Gavin left. And I kind of hijacked part of the meeting with Ally, and I apologize for that, but it was really cool information that you shared. Kim, thank you for bringing all of that information we've been asking for to our attention, and we have it. I understand that. That's it, great meeting, thank you very much.
I want to express my appreciation to the chairman for being here on her 38th birthday. And celebrating with her family, and to thank the special ed department. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's really fun to do board meetings.
Yeah.
On your birthday.
If
Good
it's
times.
any way, I'd rather spend it. Laura.
No, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Oh, future meeting. Building committee tomorrow at 5, May 3rd, 2 special meetings. May 4th, school improvement policy is
Just
gonna be
switching the
reversed now, so
Yep.
policy will be at 6.
Yep.
And school improvement will be at 7.
Yes.
May 11th, facility tech and budget. May 25th at THS, our regular Board of Education meeting, entertain a motion to adjourn.
John.
Hi.
We are adjourned.